those who are watching live. What's cool about this is that for an audio, this is just how my brain works, so you guys are welcome. For audio, if you do a podcast, think about, you might have a podcast already started and you have, 5 episodes, you have 20 episodes, you have 200 episodes. It doesn't matter. But the point is that you already have that content created. Take a sequence, the first 3 if they make sense, 3, 5, and 20, whatever, and pop one in each email and make it a sequence. Call it done. It's not that hard. Like, literally, don't create new content. You already have it because you've already done the work. Does that make sense, I hope, for all of you guys?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely right. I mean, for instance, at the moment, I've got, a ton of blog posts, and I'm just starting the podcast side of things. So for me, I'm taking those blog posts and repurposing them and just talking about them, and it's now going to be a podcast. But you can do the exact same thing with your lead magnet. So you take what you've already got, whether it's, as I said, whether it's a podcast that you've already done, whether it's a blog post you've already done, whether it's just frequently asked questions. If you get clients and customers always asking you, well, how does this work? Or how do you make this? How do you set this up? What do I need to bring to this? What do I do about this? If you've got those kind of questions or things that people are asking you regularly, stick all that into a PDF, make it look a bit pretty, use Canva or something like that, make it look kind of cool, brand it, and mark it as a lead magnet. As long as your lead magnet is helping somebody and it's giving them results and benefits quickly, then it's a killer lead magnet, and it's the way to go straight away.
I love that. And that's a great one too, especially for those who are just starting out, because a lot of you who are starting out, you're going to be like, but I don't know what my people want. And you're going to struggle with that. But taking those questions that come up all the time, or those things that people come to you for all the time, putting that and bundling it together, that's a great way to start. And then you just work from there to see what happens. And then, I don't know, I might even put in the follow-up to that, you have your lead magnet with those questions, those favorite questions or whatever, and then maybe you put some kind of action item, reply to this email, letting me know if you have any follow-up questions, or letting me know what the best one was for you, or what result you got. Like, something to get them to engage with you, so then that way you get a response.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think the very first email I send out to people who join up to Notton House Academy is, it's a welcome email. It shows them around, tells them, where they can find things. And then it says at the bottom, let me know, what is it you're finding difficulties with at the moment? What's going on? What do you need help with? And I actually get people replying back to my emails. And that's what email should be. It should be a two-way thing. So that's why email's so good, because it's quick, it's instant, it's so low cost to actually do email marketing.
Oh yeah.
It's much cheaper than Facebook ads by miles. So it's such a good way of marketing directly to people. And then when you get those emails back, you get those responses, you start to build that conversation, you build that connection. And then, you're halfway onto your sale already. Yeah,
and I will say, you guys, it's just like I tell you, the magic happens in the comments here on social media. Well, it's the same with your inbox. That's still technically a comment. And when you get those replies, they are magical. They're magical. It doesn't matter what's in them, to be honest. It's just when you get that reply, you're like, oh, somebody replied to my email. That's the first thing I'm going to check right now. Like,
yeah, it's so cool. It's such a good feeling as well. And also from a business owner's point of view, it feels good. It feels good to know that you've helped someone, and that you can do something for them, and that they appreciate what you're doing. It gives you more confidence. It's just great all around.
It is. And Lindsay says lead magnets are a great testing tool for her to find out what people really want or are attached to. Some are successful, others are not, but it's all helpful knowledge for me. So yeah, market research. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And another great way to find out what your lead magnet can actually be about, if you've got a few ideas and you're not sure, just say you're going to write a blog post on it. Literally go onto Facebook, stick it in your Facebook groups or any other networking groups.
Yeah.
And just go on and say, hey, I'm thinking about writing a really awesome blog post about this. What do you want to know about it? And then people will come back to you with comments there and answer and say, oh my God, I'm so stressed about this, and, give me some of these answers. And if you're getting comments on that post, you know that you've hit the nail on the head and you've got the right product there.
Oh, that is such great advice. Do you guys, even watching the replay, how many of you have done that before, or you're just like light bulb moment? You're like, whoa, like I can do this. Because here's the thing, when you start paying attention to Facebook and comments and asking questions, when you shift your mindset just a little bit, you start noticing a whole different world on Facebook. That's just where I'm mostly at, so I'm going to use that. And when you're in these groups, I mean, you may not even ask the question. You may just be browsing your news feed. But when you have that intent going, you do understand, like you're browsing and you're like, oh, I didn't even think to ask that question, and I know how to answer that one. Let me go ahead and write something up for that. Boom, and then you can see what's popular and what's not.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really quick and easy way to do it. There are loads of others. You can literally, if you're thinking of a particular idea, Google it. Yes. Just put in those couple of keywords in Google. And if, some of the big companies are talking about it, then have a look at it, see what it's like, see if there's comments on it, see what questions people are asking in those comments.
Yeah.
And make your lead magnet even better than what their original blog post was by answering all those other questions that other people have asked as well. And if they're talking about it, then again, it's worth doing for you.
Yes, and also another fun tip for you guys around Google is when you Google something, take a look at the bottom of the first page and see what the related searches are, because that can also help you with finding out keywords to use and or other search options. So keep that in mind. That's a great way to look at that.
Yeah, they're great.
I'm looking at Lindsay's comment. I haven't done that in Facebook group, but it's good advice. I've done it one-on-one. Nice, Lindsay. Yeah, so any of you guys who are in Facebook groups, take a look at that. And you may or may not even have to ask a question. You can just browse your news feed and see what's going on. And you may not even be in groups. Some of you may be watching this and thinking, well, that's great, Ed, but I don't know of a group to join or where I'm at. You could just look at your news feed and see the people that you're following and what they're asking and what gets the most comments and kind of figure that out there too.
Yeah, definitely. Facebook's, it's great for so many things. And I think sometimes we kind of complain about Facebook and say, well, they're making us pay for this and they're making us do this and they've changed the algorithms. But at the end of the day, there are still a whole ton of opportunities to promote your business on Facebook for free as well. I wrote a blog post just a couple of days ago, it was published, and it's about different ways to promote your lead magnet.
Oh, cool.
And I started writing about websites. So I was talking about how to promote it on your website, and then I was talking about how to promote it on Facebook, and I had about another 5 ways to promote it. And I thought, I've got to split this into 2 blog posts, because Facebook, all the different places where you can promote it on Facebook, it just took up so much of the blog post. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to stop here.
Yeah.
So there's about 6 or 7 different places you can promote your lead magnet just on Facebook alone.
Oh,
so we can't moan at them too much.
Yeah, you guys, that's cool. We're gonna have to check out that blog post. Now I'm curious.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, please. Yeah, definitely put in the comments too if you like, because that would be awesome. So we have our lead magnet. Let's say we come up with our idea for our lead magnet. Now here comes the struggle, the tech struggle. Like, what do we do with this lead magnet? Where are we supposed to go with it? What's the next step?
So once people have signed up for it and you've actually got their name and email, after that point, what you need to do absolutely is have an email autoresponder series set up. So before you publish your lead magnet anywhere, before you put the link up and start telling people about it, make sure you've got your emails, your email sequence written up. And it can just write the first 2 or 3 emails if you like. And your sequence can be as short or as long as you like.
Okay.
I recommend about 6 or so emails. But the first one is obviously the, hey, thanks for downloading. Here's your download link. and you give them the info. And then maybe the next day you'll send them an email that says, I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't get to read it yet, here's a link again. Oh, and I wanted to share a couple of extra tips.
Oh, yeah.
So straight away in your sequence, you want to be giving them yet more. So you want to make them even happier than they already are. And then they're going to stay with you and look for the next email because they think, oh, she might give me something free again. She might help me out again, and then, start to tell your story in there, start to talk a little bit about your product here and there over the next few emails, space them out. But just always make sure that basically your email sequence should be around 2 or 3 emails providing value, and then one maybe asking for something small or showing them a small product and just mentioning it briefly, and then building that up so that they get more value than you're asking for.
I love that. And that's the thing, you guys.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's just how we do it here on Facebook too, is you provide value. You provide value, and through that, people get interested, and because you're helping them, and you're not charging in that sense because you're helping them in the comments. You're pointing them in the right direction, and then you build that relationship. It's the same thing with the email part. So yeah, it totally makes sense.
Cool.
Nikki says this is super helpful advice. And Chrissy says, oh, this is fab. Thank you. Yeah, it's really good to break this down, you guys, and to check with your, I already have an email sequence set up and it's been on auto. And I do get responses to it, which is awesome. It means it's working. But I need to still go back and check too every so often to make sure that, if I have to tweak anything, if I need to change links or wording or just whatever. Maybe even I need to look now even at my scheduling because I don't know. I can't remember if my 1 and 2 go out quickly enough or the first one does, but I don't know if the second one does, if I put it out, 3 or 4 days later or whatever. So, you just play with it and you just test it out and see what works.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing really, because it depends kind of what industry you're in as well.
Yeah.
And it depends what you're talking about. So you might not want to be sending some emails every single day.
Right.
And I personally wouldn't recommend sending an email every single day.
No.
Because if someone does that to me, it drives me insane.
Yeah.
And I kind of just think of it that way. Turn it round on yourself. If somebody else was sending you an email every day, or if somebody else was sending you emails that were asking for things all the time or trying to sell to you all the time, how would it make you feel?
Yep.
And if you don't like that, don't do that to your clients and your customers. And just test it out. Do a sequence of maybe 3 or 4 emails to start with. If you're not used to doing email marketing, just do a couple of emails to start with. Put links in there where they can, join you on your Facebook groups or follow your blog or subscribe to your iTunes or, whatever it is that you're doing. Excuse me. And then just go from there and see, give it a couple of months, see how that works. And if you need to, just tweak it a little bit, maybe even changing the subject line. Yeah. Something like that. It just makes a huge difference.
That is true. And what about, so we have our sequence set up and we're going through all this. Now, what about this whole GDPR twist that just happened? Because I know a lot of people are worried about that.
Yeah, so the whole GDPR thing, I think, to be honest, before it came into play on the 25th of May, there was a lot of scaremongering going on. There was a lot of worry and a lot of small business owners going, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I've got to delete my whole list and start from scratch. No, you don't have to do that. Please don't do that, anybody. You don't have to do that. Now, I'm not a legal professional. All I know is from my research and the people I've spoken to. Yeah. But I've done a lot of stuff on it to figure it all out. So with your email list and GDPR, the very first thing you're going to need to know is when you're relating it to your website, your contact form, your lead magnet, the sign-up form for that, you've basically just got to only ask for information you absolutely need. Yeah. And the only thing you really need is an email address.
Right.
And a name. And some people still don't ask for the name. Now, I do, because I want to be personable with the people I'm talking to.
Me too.
I want to know who I'm talking to. And people pay attention to their name much more than anything else. So you ask for name and email address. You just need to put a hyperlink for your privacy policy.
Yes.
And you need to put a tick box so that the person filling out the form has to manually tick the box themselves to say if they want to subscribe to your newsletter. But make it sound fun. So don't just say, tick if you want to subscribe to my newsletter. Make it sound fun. So, you're going to get free gifts and it's great fun and we'll give you tips on this. And, it doesn't have to be boring and legal how you say it. You just got to have that tick box that they actively tick. So that's the first thing with the sign-up forms. Just make sure you've got those couple of things in and you're good.
Which is great. And if you guys are still struggling, let me know. I have resources for you around the GDPR, privacy policy, and all of that stuff. And I will tell you from my experience with, I use MailChimp, and it's awesome. They have just a quick little, turn this on and you're good to go. And it automatically pops up for them and does all their things. So it's pretty cool how most of the email companies jumped on board right away, and I'm sure all by now, but you know what I mean? They're making it easy for us to be able to check that on our list there.
Yeah, I think the majority of them did. They did it pretty quickly. They let you know what was happening, and literally it is just those things. It's the box that the person's got to tick themselves, a link to a privacy policy, and then there's things like in every one of your emails, you must have a link to unsubscribe.
Yes.
And to be honest, I think most email providers had that before anyway.
Right.
There's not very many that I've seen that don't have that. So you just check your own, but usually you would have that in there anyway. Yeah. And if somebody wants to unsubscribe, make it easy and simple for them. If they want to see their information, give it to them. That's pretty much it, to be honest. It's not as scary as people made it sound.
Yeah, and you guys, I want to make sure that you understand too, that unsubscribe button, do not hide it. Do not make it white on white. That is the most, think about it again, like we were saying, think about it as you. When you want to unsubscribe from something, you want to be able to see that button, click it, and be done. You don't want to be hunting around, and thankfully in some cases, Gmail has it where you can just click, or even Apple Mail now, they have the unsubscribe built in for most, not all. But in your emails, make sure that it's clear, because again, you don't want people that don't want to be there, that aren't going to buy from you, that aren't interested. Buy. Peace. Let them go. Be done with it. You're opening the doors for somebody who does want to be there. So just remember that.
Yeah, definitely. If people don't want to receive your emails, if they're not even opening them, clean your email list every kind of 6 months or so. Get a list together of subscribers that aren't even looking at your emails anymore. Maybe send them 1 or 2 emails with something really exciting and really eye-catching in the subject line, and see if you can get them back in.
Yep.
But if they're not even opening your emails, or they want to unsubscribe, they're not going to buy from you. And if they're not going to buy what you're selling, there's no point. Make room for other people and keep your own costs down on your email list.
Yes, and that's a good point. And then also, you guys, if you missed it, there was an episode where we had my good friend Debbie on, who surprised us when we talked about the GDPR stuff. And she's a pro at email marketing, and she was telling us some tips around how you need to clean up your list anyway, because that can also hurt your list and put you, I forget all the terms and stuff, but it would hurt your list having those people on there. So just know that too.
Yeah, definitely. And again, for kind of your own peace of mind, you want to see that, 20, 30, 40% of people are opening your emails and clicking on your links, not 80% of them, 90% of them are ignoring it. And if they're ignoring it, that's not good for you to see. And, if you can't get them back, that's fine. Let them go.
Yep. And Chrissy and everyone else who's curious about cleaning your list, there's resources out there. Depending on your program, your email program, they might automatically do it. MailChimp automatically pretty much cleans up consistently, I think there is. And then there's some settings for you to go through. Other programs will have their various options. And then there's also third-party services too. So you can just, anybody who's curious, Google your program. For instance, if you have MailChimp, Google MailChimp cleanup list. It's that easy. And then it should pop up from MailChimp on Google. And if you have like ConvertKit or whoever, just put in their name, clean up list, and see what pops up on Google there.
Yeah, most of them have it. It's pretty simple and easy to do. I actually love using Mad Mimi. I think they're great. Their customer service is fantastic. They've got a chat feature, and they literally help me out all the time when I've forgotten how to do something I did 6 months ago. But, you know, they don't have a feature that you can actually clean up. But what I just send them a message and say, hey, can you send me or make a list for me of everyone who hasn't opened an email in the last 6 months? Yeah. Within 2 minutes, it's done, and you've got that list, and then you know you can just contact them. And, you know, even if it's an email like, you know, is it time to say goodbye? Or, you know, haven't heard from you for a while. Make it a bit cheeky, make it a bit fun. Or try with, you know, I've got a free gift for you and see what comes out of that one.
Right. No, that's good. And the more fun you have with it, think about it, the more fun your reader is going to have with it. And it's going to be relatable. Because, again, it's all about the conversation. It's all about engaging. We're humans. We're having that conversation and building those relationships. So understand that it makes it fun for everyone. Yeah,
definitely. Just be yourself, you know, write as you speak as well. That's a really, really good tip. So instead of saying things like, I do not want you to do this, you would say, I don't really fancy, or I don't really think you should, you know. So abbreviate words, you know, use the apostrophes in words, say don't instead of do not, and can't instead of cannot, and things like that. Just as you would normally speak, that's how you've got to write.
Yep.
And that's how you should be writing on your blogs and on your emails and on your social media and everything else you do. Because then people know the real you as well.
Yes. And that's the thing, too. Some of you guys may be like, oh, Ed, I don't want to sit there and write all this stuff out. Okay, well then try audio. Try to do the audio section, or do a video just like we're doing here. It doesn't have to be a live broadcast. You can just record various programs out there and pop that into your emails and do a video series. You know, it could be anything, just as long as it's you being you, sharing what you know, and providing value. That's what counts.
Yeah, definitely. And another great thing, a great tool I like to use, which is a free tool in Google Docs. So if you just have a Google account, you go into Google Docs, and if you're one of the people who like speaking more than like typing, and writing something or a blog post just scares you to death, just go into Google Docs and have some notes and just start talking and click onto tools and voice recorder.
Oh, yeah.
Hit the button, and it will just translate everything you're saying and type it all up for you. It's free, it's quick and easy, it works pretty well as well.
Yeah, and then you already have it in a doc format, and then you're good. You can go through and edit later, and then pop it into your email program and call it done.
Exactly.
And that
anything
was all
that
free.
makes things quick and easy and low cost, you know, definitely. If it makes your life easier and you can get on to doing all the other things you've got to do in your business, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. And okay, so we're getting close on time. Did we hit everything on your list pretty much, or do we start?
Yeah, I think we did.
So tell us a little bit also about, because I'm curious about how you got from how you go with photography, but then also the academy, and kind of like give us a little info on that, because I'm just curious.
Yeah, so just shy of 10 years ago, I turned my passion and my hobby for photography into a business. I did a couple of portrait shoots, and then dived in at the deep end and did a wedding. Ended up with a claw hand from holding the camera for about 12 hours straight. That hurt for about 2 days.
Yep.
And I still do the photography now. I do a lot of personal branding for businesses. I do a lot of portraits, and I do a few weddings as well. But all the time when I was doing that, I just thought, I wish I knew this when I started. I wish somebody spelt this out for me. Yeah. I wish I didn't have to spend 2 hours looking through YouTube videos, Googling blog posts, all this, that, and the other, trying to find a template just to make something, trying to find, once you start, I need more emails. Oh, I'll make a lead magnet. Hold on. How do I make a lead magnet? hold on, where do I host it, and how should I make it, and what should it be on, and well, now I need email stuff to go with it as well. And I found it just got so frustrating for me and for all the other people that I'd speak to, literally over the last decade. So I basically put all of that in one place. So that's where Notton House Academy came from.
Okay.
So all of that is in the membership site of Notton House Academy, so that you can go in, you can download templates and checklists, PDFs. There's mini courses on there about lead funnels and lead magnets and everything under the sun. Cool. And there's new content comes out kind of bi-weekly as well. So it's just a good place for everything.
Yeah, and I love the focus there, you guys. That's why I wanted to bring that up, is the focus is very specific. It's lead magnets. It's broad. It can be broad because there's so much that goes into it, but it's a very specific problem that you faced and that so many of us face too. And then you took that information and you built a platform, basically, a product where you can then help not only yourself, but others who are struggling with that same specific problem. That's a beautiful thing. And that's what we need to all remember to do when we're coming up with our businesses and our services and our products and all of the things, because we all want to do all of the things. We want to have as many streams of income as possible, right? The problem is that if we don't focus on one thing, one problem that we can solve, we miss the boat, and then we're always basically half-assing it, if you will, all the time. And then we wonder what's going on. And myself included, we're all on the same boat, and we all learn from that. So this is a really great example of being able to take one problem and provide a solution that helps solve that. So I think that's a beautiful thing.
Well, thank you. I said, it's brilliant. I've had so much great feedback from it. To be fair, the Academy's pretty new. I only actually launched it last year.
Oh, cool.
Very late last year. So it was something that I just wanted to do for so long, and I thought, why am I putting it off? I've got a free weekend. Let's get started.
Yes.
And you know how things just snowball, and then I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then I love it, and it really has just snowballed. As I said, I've got podcasts coming out on it.
Cool.
I've got guest interviews for podcasts coming up as well. Tons of stuff going on with it, and it's great. And the feedback I get is just it's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's, oh my God, thank you so much for saving me 2 days of trying to figure this out,
And isn't that such a good feeling when you feel that way? You're just like, yes, like this is what I wanted, and this is what I am supposed to be doing, and I'm happy.
Yeah, definitely. And I love Mondays. So as long as you can love a Monday, right, then you're in the right place.
That's so true. That's awesome. Yeah, and be sure to drop links in the comments for everyone so that way they can see and go take a look at the Academy, whatever lead magnet you have, and your blog post too, because I'm really curious about that one.
Cool. Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. That'd be great. Thank you. I've actually got a challenge for helping people create lead magnets. Comes up starting the end of July. It's completely free. But if you don't mind, I'll pop that in and people can have a little look, because in itself, the challenge is a lead magnet. So it kind of, if you look at it, it's going to give you both sides of things too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's completely free, and it's just over the course of 5 days, about 15 minutes a day, and I'll teach you step by step how to create a killer lead magnet.
Oh, that's perfect. Yes, definitely include that in the links, because then everyone can browse on the replay too. Anything else that you wanted to cover? Did we get everything? Because we're coming close on time.
I think we got everything.
Awesome.
I think we got everything.
Awesome.
And hopefully the dog was relatively quiet too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it was perfect. Everyone's quiet over here too, so we are good. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and staying up late, because I know it's late over there. It's probably like close to 1 a.m.
Yeah, 8 minutes and it'll be 1 a.m.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool.
Good.
But thank you so much for having me on the show. I really, really appreciate it. Your stuff's awesome, Ed. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And yeah, be sure to jump into those comments later, and that way everyone can take a look at it. And thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Will do. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Take care.
How cool is that, you guys? That's what we're talking about. That's the beauty of being a guest on the show. Right there. That's it. That's all you got to do. So that's over at checkwithed.com. 3 things you want to do. 1, get on the email list for me, so that way you get all these recaps every week and tips, which is free. Then you want to check out the support button. That's going to tell you about Hey Ed. You got to be looking at that. Even if you think you don't need it, go look at it and suggest that to a friend, because trust me, I know you guys need it. And then Ed Talk TV at the bottom of that page will have a spot for you to fill out a guest request form if you want to be here on the show to share what you know. So I'm so glad you guys joined me today, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here, same time, same place tomorrow. If something comes up and I am late or it doesn't happen tomorrow, I will post it here on the page, so make sure you're following the page. But as of right now, we're scheduled to be here, so we will talk to you later. I'll leave you with this. Take care. What is the Hey Ed community? I'll let them tell you.
I'm drawn to this community, Erica, because listen, I'm going to make sure as a business person, I know you are as well, serious business women we're going to make sure that we're getting the content knowledge we need from the Hey Ed community. But I also want to laugh. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy my workday. And I know I'll get that balance in the Hey Ed community. I know he'll tolerate our tangents.
And I think that's the perfect way to have a really good engaged community. It's a perfect balance of business and fun.